Iron Fist Season 2 is back, and they have made lots of improvements over the previous series. There's a clear showing that they have listened to, understood and reacted to the negative comments they had for the previous series. It's now only 10 episodes long instead of 13, and they've focused more on a straightforward sort of street crime element rather than going into all the sort of business dealings at Rand Enterprises. Danny is fighting the Chinese triads and trying to live up to Daredevil's example, spending nights on the street solving crimes and protecting people. This is starting to wear on him, and his girlfriend cum partner Colleen Wing has sort of put any sort of crime fighting and vigilante activities on the back burner while she tries to help out in a more constructive manner at a local community centre. Eventually their paths cross in sort of community centre come vigilante ways, and Colleen gets drawn back into helping Danny with his quest for justice on the streets, etc. With this, the strongest characters are the female characters. You've got Colleen Wing, who remains probably the best character in the series for me. She has the best fight scenes. She has sort of the best storyline still, even though the first series was, let's say, more about her and the Hand. This still shows character development and a real interesting character. I wonder if that's because the actress is just better. I think it's Jessica Henwick that plays her. She just feels very natural and is a very likeable person. I probably like her more because she looks a little like my wife, so you know, there's obviously a bit of bias there. The other good character in it is Mary Walker, who is a version of the Typhoid Mary, Bloody Mary character from the comic books. In this, she plays someone with multiple personalities. One of them is a very shy, bookish young lady who has no sort of combat skills and just enjoys art and drawing and trying to live in the big city. And then the other version of that is Mary Walker, or Walker, where she is a hard-edged combat veteran. She is basically the Punisher in female form. Although I'd probably say she's better than the Punisher, or more effective than the Punisher, because she's shown to easily beat and disarm these kung fu experts in very short manner. Something that the Punisher doesn't necessarily do that easily without taking a hell of a lot of damage. She's really well played by Alice Eve, who not only looks a part when she's playing two different personalities, but she's just sort of likeable and looks realistic. She's totally unglamorous in this. I mean, she's still very pretty, but she's clearly been played down with her makeup and she looks like a normal person. She isn't in sort of this crazy peak physical shape with big muscles or anything. She looks like a normal person on the street, which I think adds a bit more to the believability of her character. Misty Knight shows up as well, and she has a fair few number of episodes devoted to her involvement in the plot. One of the sort of little side comments for this is that I really wanted to see a Misty Knight and Colleen Wing sort of Netflix original movie. I don't see why, when they're generating all these other Netflix original things that are very hit and miss, they can't just go, do you know what, we've got these characters, we've got the actors on the books, let's just do an hour and 45 minutes of Colleen Wing and Misty Knight kicking ass and taking names. And to be honest, there is a gap at the very end of the series of a few months where that could be explored in a movie between, well, can't really spoil it, but between the, so say, proper end of the series and then a little tag on they do at the end. There's plenty of room for them to have a few even Netflix original movies that would help add to the characters and just be fun, enjoyable things without the sort of baggage of having to generate a whole series about it. The actor who plays Danny Rand, he's still probably the weakest fighter out of it, and you can see they try and edit around that. I know he's trying and there's no issue with that, but the problem is that he's just clearly not either a very aggressive person and not a very physical person. But his character is much less whiny, and they seem to have dropped this sort of post-traumatic stress thing from him. So he's not hard to watch or anything like that. It's just, you know, he's playing against some big people and big actors and people who could really put it on the screen, and he just seems to get left a little behind. The other favourite character in it is Ward. That's the sort of brother or surrogate brother of Danny. He and his sister Joy were partners in the company with him, or are partners in the company with him, I should say. His character is really well played by the actor, and he has a proper sort of story arc, which again is great up until the very last minute of the series, where it gets ruined by this little bolt-on bit they put on the end. But he's just very enjoyable to watch, and you feel the most for him because he's the guy who's sitting there, and when he's being told what they've been doing in their sort of superhero life, he sits and goes, what the hell's going on? Why are you doing that for? And it just comes off as realistic and something that you need someone in the series to say. Other than that, there's Joy Walker. She is one of the baddest, so say, in the series, and she really feels like she was only included because her character existed in the first series. They should have disposed of her character or put her on the back burner in episode 1 when she first appears, but they don't, and they keep her around. She feels somewhat redundant in it. Otherwise, there's the main baddie, Steel Serpent, Davos. He's really good, he's really well played, and the actor who plays him really gets across the fact that this is a guy who's fully committed to his cause and what he feels is right and what is his destiny, but then when he actually gets what he wishes for, he can't comprehend why things aren't going to plan, and you really get the sense that he's unravelling psychologically in this. Definitely worth watching, especially at the 10 episode length. That feels right. It's got good fight sequences, particularly the latest fight sequences, and I just found it enjoyable. It was not a slog to watch, and it wasn't hard to watch. You're always interested, and you're always waiting to see what happens next, which was one of the main problems with the first series. Not saying it's great TV, but it's certainly good TV that is above other things that are out there. There's plenty of Easter eggs throughout it. There's a sort of sideways reference to the Fantastic Four with something occurring at 42 Baxter, which is a reference to the Baxter Building and its address, 42 whatever street in Manhattan. There are lots of other little nods and winks to elements of the Marvel Universe. When there's a code on the radio for an incident involving someone with powers, it's code 616, which is nice because that's obviously the universe that the main Marvel continuity is in. And there's lots of little things littered through that. I'm sure there'll be a video out with someone listing all of those, but definitely worth watching, and a very interesting thing that poses a lot of possibilities for the future, particularly with how the characters end up at the end, with there being multiple Iron Fists.